It is ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life, and then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up.
All right, what's happening, guys? Good morning to you. It is Wednesday, April 29th, 2020. I'm happy to be here with you guys this morning. We're going to talk this morning about the word of the day. I came up with this idea from a coaching program that I was in last night, and I wanted to share with you guys this concept of just, kind of picking a word of the day or a word of the week. I think we're going to start doing a word of the week here on Morning Perspective. But I think that it's important for you to think about, some of the things that we've got going on in the world and what are the important responses that we can have to those things. And we talk a lot about that exact topic, about the things and how we should respond to things. But this morning, I wanted to talk to you guys about a word that you guys probably hear me throw around from time to time fairly frequently. It is a word that I think the action is actually underused in today's world, and that word is grace. We're going to talk about what it means to have some grace, how you can practice that, and what exactly is grace. But first, I want to say good morning to some folks. What's happening? Dave, Rachel, Mark, Jared, Dylan, Bob, Andrew, Joe, Patricia, my girl. What's happening, Patricia? Good to see you guys in here, and thank you for being here. Please, if you get a minute, please share this out for me. I would appreciate that very, very much if you could do that for me this morning. And so we're going to jump right in here. I want to tell you guys, I was doing some research on this word this morning, and I found some interesting information out there for us to go through. So one of the things that I came across was just an article that said, how to actually show grace to people. So, what does it mean? 9 simple ways to show grace to people. So we're going to go through that. But first, I just want to go through and talk about the definition of the word grace. What does it actually mean? So grace obviously has a couple of definitions. The first one being, you're graceful. So simple elegance or refine of movement. She moved through the water with effortless grace. The second one is what we're really talking about. And this is the noun version. So it is courteous goodwill. At least he has the grace to admit his debt to her. That's how it's used in a sentence. So I want to talk to you guys about what exactly does grace mean? Because I think, a lot of people throw the word grace around, but grace, is a way for you to process things with other people. It's a gift that you give to someone else. You give them grace by just allowing them the opportunity to try again, forgiving them. To be there for people, to let things go, to use kind words. And we're going to go through some of this list of 9 ways to show grace to people. And I think, right now, there's a lot of tension in our world, right? There's a lot of just uncertainty. There's a lot of people out there that, maybe just don't feel themselves. And so when that happens, when there's people around you who are, not in their normal state of mind, not behaving the way that they normally behave, sometimes all they need is just some grace to be able to let them know that everything is okay. And so I want to share this list with you guys this morning. When I came across it, I thought, man, what a perfect way to talk about this topic. So the 9 ways to show grace to other people through your words. So just being kind and being gentle in the way that in what you say and how you say it. Sometimes words are the most damaging thing that we can do. They like to say, the analogy is words are like toothpaste. Once they come out, you can't get them back in. The toothpaste doesn't go back in the tube, and words do not go away once you speak them. So, it's about dealing with things with some grace, right? Dealing when you're thinking about things before you speak, think about how you could be a little bit more kind, how you could give someone some grace through your words. Look for needs and opportunities. Simple, everyday kindness and actions do a lot for people, and especially during these times. I've mentioned before, sending handwritten thank you cards to people, just going out of your way to help people, offering to deliver food to people that maybe can't get out and don't have the ability to get stuff. Just anything that you can do. Look for those needs and opportunities that people have and show some grace to other people by fulfilling those needs and opportunities. Let it go is the third one. So respond to others with grace. Sometimes people are just going to be rude. Sometimes people are going to be nasty. And, instead of responding in kind, responding the same way that they have come at you, I would recommend to you guys that you just respond with some grace, just respond with a calm spirit. It's hard to do sometimes, people are really, they can be really difficult. People can be really, really rude and hurtful. And when people are rude and hurtful, it is more important than ever for us to respond with a calm spirit. What's happening, Carla? Glen Lundy, my man. If you guys aren't following Glen Lundy, by the way, he does a show for you West Coast folks. He might be a little too early, but I believe, and Glenn, pop it in the comments if I'm correct, I believe he's broadcasting his show again at a later time now for the people on the West Coast. So Glenn has an incredible show called #Rise and Grind. It's not just a show, it's a movement. There's a group called #Rise and Grind, and I would highly recommend that you guys check that out. Glenn is an unbelievable human being and is doing a lot of great for the world. So check that out. Donna, good morning. Jeff Nelson, my brother, how are you, man? George, Mark, and Dylan, what's happening, my man? Bob, Kopesky, Andrew, what's going on, guys? Good morning. Jared, how are you? So keeping a calm spirit, letting things go. So be there, just being there for people. Being there for people is a big deal. And right now, I say this repeatedly. I probably say it 100 times. But right now, people need you more than ever before. They need people like us that can go out there and be there for people and be just be there, be happy, be a positive light in a difficult time. Be happy with the people who are happy, maybe being sad with the people who are sad, right? Just being there for people. Just be there. And that is something that is so overlooked in today's world. We move so fast and we're trying to do so many things. And, we're so consumed sometimes, especially in times like this, by what we have going on, that we don't take the time to just be there. Sometimes this is in our own houses, right? In our own families, when your children or maybe your spouse are trying to get your attention and you've got something else going on that's distracting you. Just be there. Another way to say that would be present, right? Just be present, especially in times like this where people might be feeling uneasy or anxious, and you can be that light that makes it all make sense. Forgive. This is a tough one, right? I think that people struggle with this one so much in today's world. Forgiveness for me has been one of the most powerful things that I've ever, been able to do in my own life is just forgive people. The second part of that is to forgive yourself. And what it says here is when someone asks you to forgive, do so graciously and without correction. So without giving them the reasons and going rehashing everything, just forgive. And especially when that is yourself, because I think that, in today's world, we're being taught more often than ever to be harder on ourselves and to, not allow ourselves to make mistakes, not give ourselves the ability to have a few missteps here and there and that to be okay. So forgive and do so graciously and without correction is a way to show grace to other people. Learn to ask for forgiveness. Be quick to apologize when you make a mistake or you have wronged someone else. This is one that, I think it takes time to be able to do this. I think it takes a lot of self-discipline, which creates self-confidence, which allows you to be faster at apologizing to people when you do something wrong. Because, the reality of what we live in today is that we're moving so fast that there are probably more mistakes made today than in the past, maybe than what you've made, because you're trying to move faster. You're trying to do more things in a shorter period of time. And sometimes that produces some missteps, some mistakes, right? Maybe that's overlooking something. Maybe that's not being present. Maybe that is, harsh words to somebody in your family. But apologizing is a great way to feel better about yourself and to kind of let that go. And even, listen, here's the second part of this. Even when you apologize and someone else may not free you of what you have done, forgive yourself, because, that apology from you means something, and it should, give some grace to someone else. Hopefully they return the favor. If not, do that for yourself. Watch the way that you speak. Be careful how you express yourself. So the first part was, choosing your words, but be careful with how you're expressing yourself, because it's easy to have body language. We had our top contractor elite coaching call last night, and everybody's on mute. I could see them on their screens. And what I was saying to them as we were talking through, we were talking about selling during a downturn. And, we were talking about how to sell to customers and then how to handle yourself inside your business. And what was interesting was everybody was on mute, but I could tell you, I could go around that screen and tell you, just from the body language, just from people expressing themselves naturally, who was having a difficult time with certain topics that we were going through, and who was really thriving in those areas, and who was already executing on those things. So watch the way that you speak, watch your body language. That shows grace to people. Are you comforting when somebody is talking to you about something that's concerning, or are you just kind of standoffish? Are you on your phone while you're supposed to be listening to someone? That happens often in today's world. I know that I catch myself doing it, so I'm sure you guys do as well. Watch the way you speak. Watch the way that you express yourself. Huge. The last two are huge. So if you haven't listened to this point, or you haven't taken notes to this point, I hope that you are taking them on these last two. Gratitude. If Glen Lundy is still on here, man, I'd love to hear what that dude has to say in the comments about gratitude. There's the sayings, having an attitude of gratitude. It is the most important thing in my life. I can tell you that I wake up with gratitude every single morning. This morning I woke up, man, and I was had this overwhelming feeling of gratitude for the situations that I found myself in with my family, with new friends, new people that I've met. Our business is thriving. I'm so grateful. Saying that you're grateful to other people is one of the most powerful things that you can do in the world, whether that is verbal, whether that is through an email, whether that's through maybe a post on social media. But saying thank you to people often and letting people know how you appreciate them is a huge deal, and it's way underutilized in today's world. I can tell you this, I get a lot of messages, a lot of DMs of people, telling me their stories, how maybe some of these messages help them. And it's easily the brightest parts of my day sometimes, because people are just saying thank you and showing their gratitude for sharing things and maybe having a breakthrough in their life, but saying thank you often, man. We don't do it often enough. I walk through stores some days and I see people just, almost like zombies walking through stores. And I'm making a point to say hello to those people and ask them how they're doing and try to spark up a conversation, because I think that the world needs far more of that. We all need it. When you're having a bad day and somebody's, bouncing through the store that you're walking through and they say hello to you in an upbeat way, and got a big smile on their face, it cannot not brighten your day. It cannot do something good for you. And so that is something that we should be doing for others all the time, is having gratitude, saying thank you, and showing people how much we appreciate them. And last but not least, take an interest in other people. So learning about other people, asking those people questions, and genuinely and truly listening and caring. You know, I love, man, when I get on a phone call with somebody and they start talking, and I get the honor and privilege of just listening to their story, to what they have to say, to their life and what's going on with them. Because, you know, so often in my world, I am doing the talking, you know, and I love listening to other people, and I love learning about other people, and genuinely starting to understand that person, because that's the only way that we can build a true, real relationship in this world, is by listening to other people, by taking a genuine interest. And in today's world, it is so often overlooked. We are moving so fast that we don't genuinely take an interest, do we? We are thinking about the end result of what we want. We talk about this in sales training all the time. You know, those people who are going to win in this current state of how things are, the economy being, you know, a bit different than it was 2 months ago. Maybe it being a little bit harder to get the same opportunities that you did before, because there might be more noise in the market. It comes from showing a genuine interest in others, actually caring and listening and asking questions of other people. This is a way to show grace. It's also a way to increase your business, to increase just your relationships in general in life. And so many people during this time, you know, I've used this quote over and over and over and over again over the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks probably. But Warren Buffett says, you never know who's swimming naked until the tide goes out. And I'm going to tell you this, guys, the people that show grace, the people that do all of these things, that they learn how to take an interest in others, that they show gratitude to other people, they watch the way that they speak and behave in their body language and how they interact with others. They learn to ask for forgiveness. They learn to forgive themselves. They learn to forgive others. They're there for people. They let things go. They don't hold on to things and hold a grudge forever. They look for ways to help other people, and they use words that make people feel better about themselves. Those are the people that are going to win over the next week, month, year that we're going to experience here. And this is easy stuff. You look at this list, it's called being a good human being. None of us are perfect, guys. We're all going to make mistakes. We're all going to do things that are not things that we wanted to do. We make mistakes, but it's how we handle ourselves in those moments, how we deal with things, how we show other people grace, how we show ourselves grace is what's going to make a difference over the coming time that you're about to experience. And so I hope that these 9 things this morning, example of how you can show grace to other people, are helpful to you. I hope it helps you start your day with a little bit more peace, with a little bit more clarity, with a little bit more intention on how you want to help people, what you want to do for others. Because I'm telling you, I'll repeat it again, over and over and over again. People need it now more than ever. They need motivation. They need intention. They need somebody to hold them accountable. Kristen, 100%. Listening is the core of leadership. And so often we go into companies and we look at what's going on there. We look at the leadership and we see someone who likes to tell people, not show people, and somebody that likes to do all the talking and none of the listening. And that's not leadership, guys. That is not leadership in any aspect of life. It's not leadership of being a parent, of being a spouse, of being a business owner or a leader within your organization. It's not being a leader. What is being a leader is being a good human, showing people grace, especially when they need it most. And if you can do that, You'll be on your way to living a better life, but you'll also be on your way to building much better, deeper relationships that will serve you for a long, long time, man. Real relationships, real friendships, real people that will come into your life. And those people that don't belong in your life, that you show grace to, and they don't respond well or whatever, they weren't meant to be there anyway. They do not align with your values. They don't align with what you believe. And so when you have a bunch of people in your life that don't believe what you believe, you're going to have chaos, because you're going to constantly be trying to convince them of what you believe. And they're going to constantly try to drag you in to what they believe. I made a comment on a post that I put out last night. There's a bunch of people debating over the things that are going on in this world. And here's what I see. I have an opinion. So does everybody else. I don't tell people that their opinion is wrong. But what happens in today's world, instead of showing grace, instead of respecting people's opinions, people try to paint you with some kind of brush. They try to put you in some kind of category. And that's a dangerous thing to do, guys, because if you put people in categories, there's a potential that they try to do the same to you, unless they are a very disciplined person that has worked on themselves, that has a lot of clarity, that's able to show grace, able to respect someone else's opinion. But there's a lot of arguments that go on social media as a result of people not wanting to listen, not showing grace, not understanding the other side of things. So I hope that this was helpful for you guys. I know it was helpful for me just doing the research and reading through these things and reminding myself of what it means to have some grace, to show people the grace that they deserve, that God has given them the right to. So I hope that you guys have learned something this morning. I hope it gave you a little bit of clarity. And man, I'm just so appreciative of all of you guys being here every single morning. This is a way for me to start my morning off better. And I hope that it does the same for you guys. So if it was helpful, I only ask you one thing, that you share this with just one person today. If you think this message could help somebody, could touch somebody's life in a positive way, please, by all means, share this message with them, share this show with them, so that we can get more and more and more people starting their morning off on the right foot. So I appreciate you guys being here. It means the world to me to share every morning with you guys. And I will see you again tomorrow morning. Same place, same time, right here on Morning Perspective. Love you guys.